UFC Fight Night, Whitaker versus Derrida is coming up this weekend, and today, guys, I have the complete betting guide with timestamps if you'd like to skip to any part of the video. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guy with too many YouTube channels. Guys, we're going to be going through confident picks, underdog opportunities, fights that I believe you should not be betting on, my personal lock of the week. Then we are going to close things out with the more unstructured part of the video, looking for any props that are available at the time of recording this video and making any ridiculous parlays, followed by the channel betting recap. If you would like to see any part or skipped any part, again, timestamps will be there. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Let's get started with the confident picks. And the first confident pick that I have for you guys today is going to be Marcus Buchecha. This is a fighter coming over from one championship, and while I'm worried about the competition level that he faced, I mean, in particular to one, because I think that one has excellent athletes, I do think that he's going to get by Martin Madej. I think his grappling is going to be a little bit stronger. I think he himself is going to be a little bit stronger once they actually, get a hold of each other, and I feel like he will just be able to work his game. I will say, though, out of the confident picks that we have selected for today, he is my least confident of the confident picks, but he still, at the end of the day, is a confident pick of mine. And if you're interested in seeing me dive into these matchups as deep as we could possibly get, I already have a full card breakdown video uploaded that you can take a look at. We break down everything that we possibly can about these fights. So, the next confident pick that I have for you guys is going to be Ibo Aslan. Unfortunately, Billy Elikana, has not had a very good UFC debut, and Ibo Aslan, while he is coming off of a recent loss, that was bound to come with the way that this guy fights. He came in, INQ to law, but they just started swinging. Anything can happen, but Ibo Aslan we have seen against UFC level competition, and Ibo Aslan has come in and kind of like thrown caution to the wind, but in a better way than some guys do it, because he does thrive in some sort of calculated chaos. I'm confident in the game plan that he will bring into the octagon against somebody who may lack cardio and especially heart. We have seen him kind of give up and quit in his last fight. So Ibo Aslan, I am feeling very good, and I do think that this is going to be one of his fights where he can just kind of come forward and do his thing. Now, guys, for the final confident pick that I have for you guys, this is an extremely confident pick of mine. It's going to be Shara Magomedov. Now, I'm not necessarily with the odds. Like in previous fights with Shara Magomedov, he's been a crazy, crazy favorite. This matchup in particular for Shara Magomedov, I believe, is the best that we've seen so far. You have Marc-Andre Barriol, who kind of comes in, he wants to be a little bit of a dirty boxer. He's past his prime, looking a little bit slower, and his only recent win has been against a free win, that being against Bruno Silva, okay? I think that he's not going to be able to get his game off, and I think Shara Magomedov is the perfect matchup, it's the perfect matchup for Shara Magomedov to implement his game plan, kind of just pick him apart the way he wants to pick him apart. Will he be able to finish the fight? I'm not sure, but I believe he'll be able to catch him at the end of the punches. He'll be quicker. The volume will be up, and I really, really, like I said, like this particular matchup for Shara Magomedov. Now, guys, let's continue on to an underdog opportunity. This is a fight on the card where I'm not betting on it. It's not even a pick of mine. Actually, I am picking the opponent, but if we were to see a upset on the card, this is something that would not shock me at all, okay? And that underdog opportunity is going to be Davy Grant. Now, if you've been following the channel, you might know how much I love the way Damon Blackshear fights, and I think Damon Blackshear is phenomenal. I think he's great. I think he's improving. He's taking on some great talent, but people forget how scrappy Davy Grant can get. Davy Grant is almost 40 years old. Davy Grant can still push a pace at 40 years old, and I can just see a world, okay, guys? And you guys, this is coming from a guy who has historically bet on Damon Blackshear, okay? I see a world where Davy Grant just makes Damon Blackshear uncomfortable, just making things gritty, pushing a little bit of an extra pace, kind of just, I think, like I said, uncomfortable is the proper word for, I believe, like, how he's going to make Damon Blackshear feel. He's just going to keep, going and going and going and going, but in saying that, I do think that Damon Blackshear is the better fighter. So I'm personally staying away from this fight, but I do like the odds if you want to take a shot over at Davy Grant, okay? I do not mind that upset one little bit. Now, let's talk about a couple fights that I believe you should not be betting on. The first one being Nikita Krylov versus Bogdan Guskov. You always have to worry about Nikita Krylov, and he's coming back after a major, major KO after a long layoff against Dominic Reyes. Is he the same guy that we've seen before this KO? Additionally, will his chin be okay? Because Bogdan Guskov, he's not the best fighter, but he can crack. I don't like to bet either on or against a fighter on that, after something like that happens, until we know how he's going to perform in the octagon again. So this next fight should tell a lot, assuming that he ends up eating a couple shots. For that reason, I'd stay away from it, because again, Nikita Krylov is a better fighter than Bogdan Guskov, but sometimes we see guys show up and they're never the same. Plus, again, he came back against Dominic Reyes after over 2 years of a layoff. He might not be the same guy. So again, I think it's a good idea to stay away from this one. Now, the other fight that I believe you should not be betting on this card is Bryce Mitchell versus Said Nurmagomedov. Reason being, Bryce Mitchell is moving down to the 135-pound division. Bryce Mitchell he's been struggling at featherweight, right? But he is still a very good fighter. One of the reasons, too, being, first of all, like assuming that Bryce Mitchell's okay, the weight cut goes okay, everything's perfectly fine. Will Bryce Mitchell's talent, which is talent, he's a good fighter, will he be able to keep up in the toughest division in combat sports history, that being the bantamweight division in the UFC? That in itself, I don't know. We need to see good performance from him, okay? Will he be a bigger guy in there? Will he be a stronger guy in there? Additionally, he is cutting down to this weight class. How's the weight class going to look? We've seen his chin crack before. Is he going to get knocked out? There's too many questions here. I'm personally, again, going to stay away from this one, okay? Now, guys, let's continue on over to Lock of the Week. The fighter on the card that I believe has the greatest chance of winning out of the entirety of the card, and if you've been following the channel, it might not be a shock to you, or I would imagine a lot of people feel the same way, but nothing special for Lock this week, guys. It's going to be Petr Yan. You have one of the best fighters to ever do it, taking on a guy, which I love Marcus McGee, and I think he's really good. I think Marcus McGee's a great fighter, but this is too much of a step up in competition for him. You have a guy who, talent-wise, could be champion. That's too big of a step up from Marcus McGee and everybody that he's been taking on in the UFC and LFA so far. Like, it's too much. He's probably going to get worked, and I just think that Petr Yan is a very complete and perfect fighter. I think Petr Yan is going to easily get this job done. I don't know what else to say about it, guys. He's just great. He's better, and it's understandable that he's at the odds that he's at right now. But let's keep going over to the unstructured part of the video, guys. Let's see if there's any sort of props that are available for us right now. I am recording this before the week even began, so nothing really is going to shine over here, but let's see, okay? So Damon Blackshear, Davy Grant, over 2.5 at minus 175. Nah. Carlos Leal, Muslim Salikov, over 2.5 at plus 116. Yeah, I'm not going to touch that one personally. Does anything stand out, though? Robert Whittaker and Rainer de Ridder. Not bad for over 2.5 at minus 167. Not bad. I could see that fight getting a little gritty. Now, do you think Petr Yan and Marcus McGee will go up? Yeah, I don't mind that. Over 2.5. Sorry about that, guys. Let me mute my phone over here. I could see them, scrapping it out. Over 1.5 for Marc-Andre Barrios, Sharon Magomedov at minus 160. Nothing really is screaming out to me right now that's really good odds. Over 2.5 for Ricci and Amanda Hebos. Yeah, shocker. Like, that's obviously going to go over. But again, for the props, unfortunately, nothing's really going crazy. But let's take a look at let's take a look and see what we can make for some fun parlays over here, guys. Now, one that I am considering doing myself, and at the time of recording this video, I have not placed my bets yet. I love Petr Yan, and I love Sharon Magomedov. Now, if you've been following the channel, you might know that I hate MMA parlays because of how crazy this sport can be, but I am feeling good about that one. For 150, like, there's no way, there's no way that this doesn't hit. But then again, look at things like that happened last week at Daniel Zellhuber. A lot of people were saying that, or Kevin Holland even, right? We'll talk a little bit more about that when we get into the channel betting recap, but crazy things happen in MMA. It's a fist fight. I hate parlays, but these odds are too much. I have to kind of parlay them together, But let's pick the entire card. Let's see what we got over here. So I'm going to pick Tabitha Ricci. I'm going to pick, that's so tough, Azu Amabayev. I'm going to pick Bryce Mitchell. I'm going to pick Ibo Aslan, Petr Yan, Damon Blackshear, Marcus Buchecha, Carlos Leal, Bogdan Guskov, Sharon Magomedov, and Robert Whittaker. There's so many tough ones here, but that's actually really solid for the card. Even if you wanted to throw like $10 on it, that's $1,600. Definitely not hitting. But something my sister and I do every single week is we throw 10 cents on every single underdog. Let's see what we can get this time around for that. Excuse me. Oh, that's a Kyle Braho. Wrong fight. Let's see what we can get for that. Nothing, eh? Nothing. Oh, that's not even worth it. But what else can we put together? If you really want to build a parlay, let's see what we can put together. So I feel like a lot of people are comfortable with Petr Yan. Ibo Aslan's not bad. What if we just wanted to take some confident picks? Let's see what we get, okay? Ibo Aslan, Petr Yan, Marcus Buchecha. I can see a lot of people wanting to add Carlos Leal to that too, but I would like Sharon Magomedov with that. To be honest with you, I would take off Marcus Buchecha with that. And if you really want a plus money parlay, that's the best that you're going to get. But even like, guys, I hate parlays in MMA. I hate 3-leg parlays in MMA. I think that we might have to go with like a round line somewhere around here. Like Amanda Hebos, Tabitha Ricci is probably going to go up. If you really want to bet like Sharon Magomedov or something, get a 1.5 of Amanda Hebos and Tabitha Ricci. That'll like boost it. At the odds that are at, it'll boost it to like 130. So who knows? But guys, let's continue on to the final part of the video over here, that being the channel betting recap. Every single week, we cover how we did for the betting, and unfortunately, I am here to report that our long, clean streak of betting has failed. We had 2 official plays, we hit 1, we lost 1. Now, what's interesting is, I was pretty confident that Danny was going to get the job done, but I did say, of course, and I expanded upon this in the members-only video, I hated UFC 318 for betting. I didn't know what I was going to do. I played with something very small, of course, being 0.25 units. I took a gamble on Max Holloway because what I had to say about Max Holloway was I think he's improved so much. If his chin is okay after Ilia Topuria, then I think he's going to dance around circles against Dustin Poirier, and he kind of just did that. He almost clean sweep Dustin Poirier. In my opinion, he won 5-0, okay? So Max Holloway, I ended up getting him at just about plus money, which was great to see. So I actually ended up profiting just a tad because, again, I just put 2.5 units. But Danny Gay shocked me. I think both guys kind of looked bad. I expected Pitbull to look like that, but I thought Danny Gay would really work him. It's just, I don't know, man. But what I did say, and I am very happy to report, is, guys, how many times have I said this? We don't bet on a Michael Johnson fight. We don't bet on a Kevin Holland fight. But I also did say, I want to bet on them very bad because of the matchups, right? I want to bet on them. If anything, I'll throw them in the fun parlay. And if the fun parlay is something we just throw $5 at every week, so I didn't mind the risk for that, right? But so many people bet on Kevin Holland. So many people were talking about Kevin Holland, you know, how he's going to destroy Daniel Rodriguez, and he should have destroyed Daniel Rodriguez. Daniel Zellhuber should have destroyed Michael Johnson. But how many times have we seen it now? Kevin Holland has dropped the ball too many times, and Michael Johnson can beat the best fighters in the world and lose to the worst fighters in the world. We've seen this time and time again with them, okay? Never bet on them, and I'm going to continue doing that. Like, a fun parlay is one thing, okay? If you're just like, hey, like what I do every week, right? Hey, $5, let's throw it on the card, let's see what happens. You know, I like to have fun when I do that type of, when I bet like that. But for the official plays, nuh-uh. You will never see Michael Johnson, you will never see Kevin Holland on there ever again. I've learned my lesson with both those guys a long time ago. So keep that in mind. No matter how good the matchup looks, Kevin Holland, Michael Johnson, don't bet on them. Don't bet for them. Don't bet against them. Don't bet the rounds. I don't care. If they're a part of a fight, I'm not touching it. So, guys, like I said, unfortunately, we did have a clean streak with the betting. And, of course, if you ever want to go back and look upon that, you can look at the other betting guide videos. We've been hitting all of our bets. And Danny Gay, out of all of them, man, Danny Gay was one that let us down. But Max Holloway came in clutch. Max Holloway ended up saving the day. So, if you're interested in seeing exactly what I'm doing with my money each week or supporting the channel, you can check out the channel membership in the pinned comment, description down below, or right next to the subscribe button. It is very cheap compared to other channels. Every Friday or Saturday morning, depending on whether or not I like to bet on Friday fights, I'll be posting a community members post along with a members only video telling you exactly what I'm doing with my money, why I picked what I wanted to bet on, and so on. And additionally, OddsGym is a tool that we use on the channel. If you'd like a discount over at OddsGym, you can find the link for that in the pinned comment description down below using code Clenbat. Check out any of those and check out the full card breakdown right here. Thank you so much for watching the video, everybody. Take care, guys.